Alrighty, hello and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. I'm Luce and, well, there's a Moogle Tombstone event going on right now, which means people are actually queuing for Rival Wings. And since I like to queue for it whenever... Oh, right, I was doing some unrestricted stuff. Ignore that. I was just speeding through some of the, You know what, it doesn't matter. Be here. As nice as that is, yeah, as you can see from the little here, the Moogle Treasure Trove event, basically at the end of each, right before a new patch or expansion drops, this game likes to add a Moogle Tome event, which basically means on top of the regular rewards here, you also get Moogle Tomes that you can exchange for some limited time rewards. And of course, this is also the only time anyone ever goes for Hidden Gorge. Rival Wings in this game is basically the MOBA-esque mode, and I personally love it, possibly because I'm insane and enjoy MOBA gameplay. But yeah. Usually this is around the only time anyone ever actually queues for this mode, which is a shame. I genuinely think it's really good, as I said, but... And so I've made a habit of doing it every so often. Especially since it usually drops at a convenient time when I'm between major games. That is technically the case here, but I've got a lot on my plate that I do want to do. I want to do this first of all because, oh yeah, if you were watching my previous streams, I did in fact finish off the leveling the trust there for a Gold Heart title. So that was nice. I only did like, what, 4 streams of leveling the trusts. Then I had to do the last 3 off stream, but I think it's good that I did that because 3 rounds would have been an extra hour and a half, and I don't think I could have done that with how tired I was that night. I should be able to get a nice supply of Moogle Tomes from this. Hidden Gorge. Oh, someone left. Weird. Oh yeah, and I've been, as you can see, I've been using Pictomancer for PvP lately. I've actually been getting a surprise. If you watch some of the previous Frontlines ones, even I'm surprised at how well I can do sometimes, although it's still kind of iffy. But I'm doing significantly better as Picto than I ever have anywhere else, so Cerulean Tank is definitely worth fighting over. Dark Knight. Crap. Pictomancer is kind of, Pictomancer kind of has 2 stances just like Red Mage. Instant cast and less powerful spells like Holy and White Paint will, it deals less damage than the other stance mode, but it will heal me a little. If I go into the other mode, I actually now cast time, but my damage is significantly higher, and my Comet and Black paint is a lot stronger than the Holy and White paint, but it doesn't heal me or anything, it is pure damage. Nah. I overextended there, that was definitely my problem. Oh well. Yeah, we lost center, but that's not the end. Nice thing about Battle High in this mode is that, unlike the other one, this one doesn't go down when you die. It can only. Of course, this does mean that everyone will be capped after a point, but whoever caps first does genuinely have an advantage over the one that caps second. So it's not something you want to just sit back and enjoy. Yeah, I usually stick into the subtract palette for Comet and Black and just higher damage in general. say I do a lot better here than I do. Well, I did say I do better than I usually do, not that I'm actually any good. Yeah, our team is pushing just fine, I think, so... Okay, good, we got that summoner. Ultimately, it probably is more important to be hitting these mammoths rather than players, because the players can make themselves beefy if they know what they're doing. But mammoths, they usually just straight up bomb the enemy's towers, and as you can expect with a MOBA, the towers are what matter. I also don't want to hang around here for too long, so let's get out of here. The mercenaries over there, then. So, let's see here. Blue is... We've got the advantage here. We're red team, so that's a problem. Looks like they're following me. Ugh, not bad. But I guess I could grab a cerulean tank while I'm here. I need to make sure we have at least 50 because that allows us to mount up as needed. I think there's a limit on how many total can be present. Gob tank is a decent enough thing to fight over, I guess. Alright, good. 71. Ha! A bit, Oh yeah. Just like in PvE, Pictomentor is entirely burst damage. Which also means that once I've blown the burst load, I am a bit stuck. Because, yeah, I could chase someone and use them with my hit them with my instant cast attacks, but as you can guess, those aren't particularly strong. So I definitely want to prep my spells before going in. I guess you could refer to them as a prepared spellcaster. Unfortunate. Well, what matters is that we're working together here, so... Probably grab at least one more of these. Yeah, the other one is the one that grants the whole team LB. That's usually not very high impact, so you'll usually... There might actually be a team fight down here instead of up there. Right, the slipstream is a constant AoE. I think it is in PvE as well, but I don't remember off the top of my head. Most bosses are so big, it honestly doesn't matter. Oh, that's the enemy oppressors down there. I gotta stop that. We've already lost both our towers though, so it's pretty much over, but that doesn't mean I can't make life annoying for the rest of the team, for the enemy team. Samurai is also still a pretty good PvP job, for those who remember what I played as last time. Unfortunate, but 6 levels really, wow. Taking out the oppressors was a really good idea. Oh, and if anyone likes the mount I'm using, it's the mount you get for getting all combat jobs to level 100. So it's not hard per se, it's just a bit of a commitment. Oh wow, that was a nice one. Wow, we got stomped there. Well, that's how it goes sometimes. Two KO is better than the 0 I usually get. Alright, Wondrous Tales. Yeah, that's what I was doing earlier. Or for those wondering why I was running around unsynced. Sigh. I actually had to redo second chances until I had one period, because that was mildly annoying. And I have everything of value from her bronze thing, so I might just go for the MGP one. Let's see. I can't, unfortunately, I cannot turn it in to get XP for a limited job like Blue Mage. So, yeah. Blue Mage is still 55. I haven't really been motivated to play it, if we're honest. That's how it goes sometimes. Oh yeah, I forgot I was doing that. I believe this will bring me an alchemy weapon. Oh, contains unequipable. Right. I never know what to open these as. I probably shouldn't have Alchemist as one of my main desynth because it really doesn't. All of the really desynth that you get regularly is some unusual weapons are classified as that. Like if you really can't tell what they're made out of, they might be default to alchemy, but by and large, it's usually just Scholar and Summoner books as well, Pictomancer brushes now. But as a reminder, Picto is the first one to have a job weapon that's made by alchemists since Realm Reborn, because remember, the Arcanist jobs were added in Realm Reborn. Craziness. Alright, it might take a bit for me to get back in the groove of Rival Wings. I haven't been playing it nearly as much as I should have now that the Moogle Tome event is here, especially since it's really good for that. I have already gotten the mount for just playing 1,000 games. There is a reward for winning 1,000 games, but realistically, you're going to have about a 50-50 win rate on that because of how the mode works, so it's going to be a crapshoot. But if you can get the title for that, that is a genuinely... Well, actually, because of how unpopular PvP is in this game, even the rewards meant to be common are actually pretty rare, so... So shrug. So I guess if you really just want a title or mount or mini that's you can feel smug about not many people having, the PvP ones are a pretty good option because most people just straight up never touch the mode, which by extension means that few have even touched the achievements for it, which unlock it. I see someone else has the maxed out job mounts. And that's from... Oh, that one's from Bozja. I really should have done Bozja at some point, but I just didn't enjoy it as much as Eureka. I'm not sure what the deal was with that. It could be the Eureka just plain had a nicer locale. Even the one everyone hates, Pagos, had a lot of really nice places to realize locales. Oh yeah, that's another nice thing about this mount. It has a lot of mount-specific actions. Enemy Picto, I see you, buddy. Darn it, yeah, I was surrounded. I needed to get closer to my team in the middle, on the, around where, yeah, where this guy was. Because there was actually a team over there. Just goes to show, even when you're a caster or a ranged physical where you could try and snipe people, there's a good reason to stay near your team. Anything hit by the train instantly dies, so this will be funny. Or no, it won't. That's gonna kill our Viking. Yeah, unfortunate. Hey, remember I said Picto has a lot of good AoE? Black Mage mains, Richard Pictos aren't been nerfed a bit in PvP compared to PvE, so Richard, either one's fine if you want to nuke her. And as you can see, we're doing a pretty good job working together. Hello, Mr. Enemy Oppressor. You look like you might be a problem for my team to have to deal with, so I'm gonna have to ruin your day. Oh dear, this gob tank I also need to make sure I ruin the day of. If I remember right, the Magus enemies actually deal a decent amount of damage if you aren't careful, so take them seriously as creeps. Especially when you're trying to push a lane. Crap, I was too busy trying to get my full combo off. Because if you can drop the palm motif and then hit them with Maydeen, that's really huge damage. That was rapid. Oh, it's welcome. Yeah. Yeah, PvP modes here are a whole other beast compared to the regular mode. Although that's kind of by design. In fact, so much so that the gear you equip doesn't even matter, which is also why you'll often see cosplay and meme outfits like the one I'm wearing right now. There we go. KO. Sadly, if I want the Handy Mercy title, that only applies to front lines. This mode is a little different. There are some universal get KOs in PvP mode that KOs in here will count towards, but... Oh, this is not good. I hit with it take more damage from everything, so that helps melt that oppressor. And I can just fire and forget on the oppressor. that. Machines can't heal like players do, so... Merc can actually deal good damage. I need to take that thing out immediately. I think they are only allowed to exist for like 2 minutes at a time, but I believe the amount of damage that the creeps do is dependent on how much HP they have when they detonate. I could be tripping, though, and completely off, but I see no reason to let them live. Still, we lost our tower first, and that means we now have access to brute justices. I need to protect my teammate there. Paladins are highly unlikely to get killed, but they can be a pain in the ass, that's for sure. Protect my teammate. There we are. No, there we are. If the Dragoon was smart, he'd go after me, because a Picto, the Tempora Coat shield defends me, but in order to give it to a teammate like I did there, I have to sacrifice my own shield. So if he'd been smart, he could have gone after me and not wasted his limit break. There we go. We should probably get the Merc in here. I'll just focus the Merc real quick. We've got to get this back into our favor. I don't like fighting him in here because it's a little hard to see his AoEs because of the lighting. There we are. Finally, it's on our side. It's not too late to make a comeback if we're smart about this. I just need to be smart here. Samurai have a decent amount of burst, but also have a number of options for when their biggest moves are on cooldown. Picto's a little less so. Might as well use the elixir to get my MP back before I go in. Yeah, we're pushing south and they're pushing north. But it seems they had to redistribute some resources. So if we take out one of their brute justice... Oh yeah, they're throwing everything to defend themselves. Alright, let's activate my lift break. Damn it, the ninja got me. Yeah, ninjas have a function. I don't think it's actually a guaranteed instant kill anymore. It's just really high damage. But basically, you don't want to be under half around a ninja because they are very good at bursting you down. At least here. Still, we managed to tear apart a lot of their stuff. Cerulean tank. I think that's just the one that increases everyone's limit break meter. So nice if we do get it, but not a huge issue if we don't. I did just use mine though. The Pictomancer limit break is basically an the castle part around there is gives me and my allies defense and healing over time, and I also get a big nuke, as you saw. And yeah, I was out of movement, so I could not get out of there in time. Granted, I did do a lot of damage to the cruise chasers down. Alright, so I guess for anyone who doesn't watch these or hasn't seen it before, the oppressors deal damage to buildings, but pretty much nothing to players. The cruise chasers, the skinny robots, those deal good damage to players and other robots, but doesn't really do anything to buildings. Brute Justice does good damage to both, but you can only get them as soon as you've lost towers. As such, going after machines and objectives is usually a bit more valuable than raw kills in this mode, so you have to be smart. Not to say you don't want to get kills if possible, just you have to consider your options a bit more. It's not the same, it's not like, crap. It's not like front lines where general kill power determines the stronger team, since that team will be taking objectives more easily. Dude, our team's a little behind in the levels, and I'm definitely partially responsible for that. I should probably stop this Brute Justice. I don't even have to, actually. It looks like they already got him. Yeah, he sacrificed everything to get that there. Oh yeah, we win. The enemy team was so distracted by us, they completely neglected their own core. That's why I say you do need to care a bit more about objectives than just raw kills. You do want the kills because, again, the higher that battle high is, the better. Like, R10 was okay, but the star, that's 20. That's where you want to be. Because that increases your damage and healing amount by a pretty strong amount. But if the enemy's just too busy gunning for kills and completely not protecting their core, you get stuff like that. It happens way more than you might think. Although I guess the same could be said of regular MOBAs too. Including Deadlock, now that I think about it. Kind of reminds me of the fun maps of Heroes of the Storm, where the objective, like the train, can really help adjust a fight if you know how to use it right, but you still need to coordinate, or, you know, defend your core. Sadly, yeah, I haven't been back there in years, since Blizzard decided to pull a Blizzard. Oh well, at least it was a fun ride while it lasted. Dang, it really feels like I have a lot I have on my plate that I want to get done before the end of the year, but I'm just not going to be able to make it. I think I mentioned, I've been wanting to do rival ring nights like this because, first of all, Well, it does seem to be nice for people to dip in and out with. And also, it gives me an excuse to focus on PvP for a while, because again, I do genuinely like these modes. It's just sometimes hard to feel like prioritizing it when there's a lot of stuff I could do. Like the key in the past there, that quest, that's for the variant dungeons. Unfortunately, I slept through most of the content in Endwalker, so I've been after the main Dawntrail stuff was complete, I decided to go back and do a lot of the stuff there. Especially now that the sugar glider mount grind is done. By extension, leveling my jobs. Because holy crap, I got almost all of them raised up entirely because of those fate grinds. Dawntrail really buffed fate grinding, that's for sure. And, let's see here. I haven't done the variant dungeons, but what I've looked into is they're basically a unique type of 4-player content. If you played World of Warcraft, they're the closest this game gets to Mythic Plus, because once you complete the normal mode, it has basically a Savage version, Criterion dungeon, with some special mechanics, as well as functionally an enrage, where if you don't complete the overall dungeon, basically all the enemies and bosses get an enrage that will obliterate you. So, that said, one thing I will note is that between this and Island Sanctuary and the other stuff I introduced in Endwalker, the stuff they've actually added is fun. I'm glad they did, but at the same time, the reward structure really could have used some work. Even before I've stepped foot in these variant dungeons, I was already aware of the memes about how most of the time all you'll get are those annoying little firecracker things that nobody cares about, that they usually just use as filler things or for island town stuff. Those aren't very satisfying rewards. And Island Sanctuary, it actually does have a bunch of mounts, but they're all basically recolors of the Mandragora mount. So if you already have that one and not a fan of it, or you aren't a particular fan of the color options available on these, they're not going to feel nearly as exciting as a new mount would. I mean, say what you will about the ease in which you can get the Reputation quest mounts. Those are each completely unique and take about a month of grind. I think it's about 25 days for most of them. And I say most because Realm Reborn and Heavensward, as per usual, break the rules. Like right now, it takes about, from Stormblood onward, they'll just take about 25 days, so about a month of daily turn-ins to complete. Not bad at all. The ones in Realm Reborn, it can be about the same, or it can be a bit less if you focus down one, because they give you more than the usual daily amount. And Heavensward, the Banu takes 45 days, so a month and a half for no good reason. Not to mention their location is in the Sea of Clouds, one of my least favorite areas in the game, because it has 2 Aetherites, but they're like in 50 feet with one another in one corner, while the entire map is huge, but also has a lot of nothing in it. It's basically a bunch of floating islands. Oh yeah, I can show some of the mount actions here. I was impressed when I saw there was actually 4 here. Even the sugar glider I got from grinding fates only has 1, and even just having 1's a pretty big deal. So glad they went all out for the one for maxing out all jobs to 100. It does feel a little weird maxing out 100 instead of 99, but I guess it makes sense to keep everything in a nice even multiple of 10. Especially since they're going to keep doing level 5 death on certain bosses, which of course tanks need to interrupt. Gobby Juice. No, okay, yeah, that's the one nobody likes, because it just increases everyone's... Yeah, it's all coming back to me now. Yeah, at this point, we might as well just grab our cerulean tanks. I mean, do you not want to grab that tank? Yeah, that's what I thought. mean, you can fight over if you want, but if the enemy has too much, it's usually not worth it, simply because the gains aren't significant enough to be worth dedicating all the players on your team to that. The team power. Excuse me while I grab one of these. $50 is definitely the big one I need to be paying attention to. Because you need 50 to buy one of those mechs. And as mentioned, the mechs definitely are the main thing that push the whole thing forward. Let's go down in here and I'll go after the... No, it's 2 minutes till the Merc comes up. That's a decent amount of time, honestly. Hello, Mr. Ninja. Yeah, that's what I said. Ninjas are really dangerous if you are running around on lower HP. Someone else is backing them up. I need to get out of here. Yeah, the samurai helping him out is... I'm probably dead no matter what. I get the feeling he was pissed off at that. Still, if he was a good teammate, then keeping distracted from something that actually matters is important, because a single enemy running back to camp is usually not worth pursuing. Dang it, because I died too early, the animation went off, but I died too fast to actually count as an attack. I guess while I'm here, I should note that this stream is taking place before the 7.1 PvP revamps. Basically, the way the game works right now is that when you fire off an attack, it already counts as having hit the enemy. It just won't take effect until the animation finishes. Once the 7.1 patch gets here, the damage won't go out. The attack won't count as hitting until the animation actually finishes, which is actually a rather big deal because it means a lot of the pub stomper strategies will no longer work. Well, at least they're ignoring the Merc while our team is getting him. It's a bit of a ritual to always have to prep spells before moving on, but you kind of don't have a choice as Picto. As I said, it's a very, very burst-oriented job, so once all my burst skills are down, when I'm kind of just running on fumes, basically. And of course, a caster is in no way going to survive that fast beam. Now, a melee like Samurai can survive, that's for sure, but... not a Picto. I'm surprised if no one, melee jobs get a bit of a higher than innate damage reduction, including melee DPS, not just the tanks. Tanks obviously get the highest, but... okay. I did not realize he was capable of chain stunning me. I suppose that did do a good job of making sure that he would be a little distracted, but... So he wasn't pushing where he otherwise might have. Oh, they're trying to sneak through mid. Probably hit over the Merc. Looks like red team might already be there, though. Not much I can do if that's the case, but I also can't ignore him. I can, however, fire some pot shots from up here. Like, this Scholar is thinking clearly. Oh, unfortunate. Unfortunate. I didn't mention the achievements earlier. Maybe I should just take a look at those real quick. PvP Rival Wings. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm way ways away from that. Which one did I get? Oh, yeah, just win 100 times. I'm not very far past that, but it is something. And again, just about any PvP reward is extremely rare by virtue of the fact that few bother with the mode, so that's always nice. I need to get back to doing Crystalline Conflict as well. I guess it was kind of lucky that I ended up being on the closest thing to a PvP database center, although they all do it to an extent. It's just a bit more common on Primal, the one I'm on. I'm pretty sure you should be able to queue up anywhere and find one, though, if only because, again, the Moogle Tombstone event encourages people to pick it up, where normally they wouldn't. I guess if I'm having too much trouble, I can always go back to Samurai and see how that goes. I was a bit iffy on Samurai at the start of the expansion, but then when they buffed it so that you could always do the follow-up after your big nuke attack, it just felt so much better. Sometimes reworks help the jobs feel better, and sometimes they feel worse. I still have horror stories from Heaven's Ward of all places. I know a lot of people are nostalgic for that, but I distinctly remember having to abandon my Bard main because they turned it into a Bow Mage, where basically Machinist was introduced with a cast Bard to its attacks to make it stronger, and Bard got the same thing to keep them roughly similar. And it was okay for Machinist because Machinist was very clearly built with the cast bar from the word go, but the same could not be said from Bard, where it was clunky as hell. In fact, Bow Mage Bard's probably the least fun I've ever had in the game, period, and that really says something, because this game has made a number of choices that I question the sanity of. But luckily, it didn't live it didn't live past Heaven's Ward at all. Stormblood immediately converted it closer to where it is now. Yeah, the Cerulean tank basically gives everyone a bunch of Cerulean, meaning the team that wins this can basically immediately begin mounting everyone up. not doing well. Darn, I need to chomp some of this thing. This Dark Knight. Yeah, let's just capture the point. The sooner we get this, the easier we can all start mounting up and pushing the lanes immediately, and that's just going to be a nice early bonus. It won't guarantee the win, but it'll make it a bit more convenient for doing so. Press her north and south. It might be good for me to contribute the southern one. Oppressors generally aren't worth fighting each other. Okay, that one's already gone. North needs help, and it looks like the Merc's coming up soon as well. Well, that's a lot of red. I don't want to be around that much red. I was too slow to the heal. Yeah, the white mage's polymorph you cannot cleanse is a status effect you cannot cleanse, even by another white mage, so... actually, who are the jobs that cleanse? I know Bard has a... Bard does in fact have a cleanse that can apply to allies. Bard is, as you can guess, very supportive. I think white mage might, but I don't remember off the top of my head. Sage doesn't, because Sage is functionally not a healer in this mode. It's pretty much damage. Sometimes an AoE heal, an AoE for the mitigation of the party is nice. But of course, placing it's important because I can't change where I put it. Oh dear, there's a lot of robots in the south. They've got their own brute justice. And I should definitely stop the brute justice if I can. Although, there's gonna be a mid-fight in about half a minute, and I should probably be there. I should also probably grab one more cerulean tank, just because we're so close to it. We've got a mech, but it's going to die at some point, so having enough for a backup to immediately get another one is really good. Out of all my resources. I needed to hang back is what I needed to do, rather than try and hold the line, because probably might have just made it easier for them to win. That's 2 oppressors south, and I need to stop that. We've functionally won mid, so I don't have to worry about that. Go and run, buddy. You can't escape my stars. Alright, the Merc's coming up, so I gotta be ready for that. That's an enemy brute justice. We have to win the Merc because that's just going to be a bigger pain in the rear if the enemy gets their hands on that. Gobby Juice, no one really cares about. It's not awful since a lot of limit breaks can be quite nice, especially in some of Pictos, as you can see, does give you a bit of everything. An offensive nuke attack, not nearly as powerful as one like Ninja or Samurai, but nice. As well as some support, which is always good. Okay, yeah, they joined us immediately. That's good. I know my commentating is all that praise, given I clearly not as good as I was hoping, but this could easily go either way. It looks like we have a slight advantage, but we can't get cocky. Actually, no, I have a slight loss, but it's nothing that we can't come back from. We already have enough people going that way, so I think it might be in my best interest to help out. Oh, they've got an oppressor going down mid, hoping nobody will notice. I'm not sure why it fired on itself. That's not going to deal any damage to players. Yeah, that oppressor completely wasted his advantage. This brute justice, however, isn't, which is a problem for us. I hate to have left him alone, but at the same time, if that oppressor could easily have taken out our core if someone didn't go after him. Well, they wasted so much time on me, the rest of the team was able to melt the brute justice. Not enough, though. It's over. Another oppressor down mid. I'm pretty sure that one's gonna be able to get its missile off, yeah. Alrighty, let me grab a sip of my drink before I queue up again then. How many wolf marks do I have? Okay, I'm not even close. If I didn't get my weekly tomestones done, this would be another great way to get that too. But I've mostly been doing hunts. I'm absolutely taking advantage of the fact Dawntrail areas currently have 3 instances per area. We're at the point that the crowd is definitely thinned out from the expansion drops, so they're definitely gonna be taking it away once the .1 patch hits. But I am absolutely taking advantage while it's here. I already got the achievement for 500 A rank kills in Dawntrail areas, which is pretty nice. The others are gonna take a lot longer because well, there's 2 A ranks per area, and a train ideally hits all per expansion. Which, for better or for worse, is always a fixed at 6. But since there's 3 instances, that gets multiplied by 3. And since I'm doing it weekly to max out my tomestones, you can see how that would add up rather quickly. I do catch some of the older ones where possible, but it's kind of tricky. Yeah, especially if you want to do a hunt train for Realm Reborn areas. The Realm Reborn ones are only level 50. They are not, they melt to anyone in Dawntrail gear, and it's only going to get worse as time goes by. I imagine next expansion they'll probably have another stat crunch, because we're kind of reaching the same point where before, where bosses are getting like 2 billion HP or something ridiculous like that, and now I know it's easy to think, wait, didn't we have one of those back in Endwalker? And for better or for worse, stat crunches are not something you do just once. Oh, hello entire enemy team. I'm just gonna get out of your hair if that's alright with you. Might as well grab a couple of these while I'm here. Whatever. If we win the fight of Gobby Juice, that just means everyone gets their limit breaks immediately, which isn't awful, I guess. There we go, KO. Excellent. We only need 4 people here, so where are my talents most needed? The southern Merc is going to be a while, so I might want to stop the 2 oppressors going north. No, the oppressor's all south. Right, I'm red team now. You'd think I'd know my reds from the blues after playing all those years of Team Fortress 2, but evidently not. well, whatever. If he wants to run away, I'll let him. What I should do right now is take the cerulean tank so that he can't. Out south, especially since the Merc is about a minute away. The Gob tank is definitely worth fighting over. Yeah, I don't care about the Black Mage. I can live and let live with them. Oh, come on. How is that not? Sigh. Gotta deal as much damage as I can. The good news is the 1-2-3 combo actually does deal some pretty good damage in Subtracted Palette, so... Crap, blues down here. It's too late, they already won it. Crap it. Crap it. God, man. Oh, hello, Ellie. Sorry, I'm a bit, I was a bit, in the zone. I was a bit focused. Yeah, I have to summon all my courage and all my strength to skip this banner. Now that I know that Siege Altar is on the horizon, I cannot falter. I don't care how good she is, I don't care how trash she is, she's the next project no matter what. Darn it. I was hoping to escape that, but it didn't work. Like 4 months away. And you know how fast that time flies. I'm on the fence if I want to pull on the Delicious and Dungeon collab as well. On one hand, it's actually impressive how basically everyone except for the agent is much a meme. Even the 6-star is really awful, I'm gonna be real with you. A lot of people like to put on, oh look, technically speaking, look at all of her numbers, she's amazingly strong. But, she's basically Aya if Aya had to deploy and then wait like 20 seconds to power herself up before she can actually do her job. It's just not practical how much setup she requires, especially since she's not hella droppable. And if you're doing that, you can do damn near anything else. I need to heal. I need to use the... yeah, here we are. Okay, good. Oh, that's a Brute Justice coming in. Crap. Screw you, Samurai. I don't care. Yeah, the animation delay on the limb break is huge, huge, huge. I can't exactly dive into the middle of a bunch of enemies and drop it, as you can see there. But yeah, as nice as Delicious in Dungeon is, I'm not sure if I'd say I love it enough for to go all in on the collab, like with the, say, the Monster Hunter collab. But at the same time, the 5 stars do look fun, even if they are blatantly memes rather than actually good. particularly that agent. And I'm kind of amused he came in and got himself the, came in with a module when no other agent in the game has one. Not only that, but the other agents still don't have one. I don't know what the deal is with that. Looks like the gob tank is about to explode no matter what we do, so let's not bother. But yeah, we are getting slaughtered. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do to stop it. On that note, I didn't realize ninjas could stun you for such an extended period of time. I'll have to keep that in mind. I have been told ninjas are extremely good if you want to farm kills, like for the Hand of Mercy title I mentioned, which requires 5,000 kills in front line. As someone who's been doing daily I joined in the Realm Reborn, but I didn't play PvP right away. That was something that came later, but yeah, we lose. There's no way we can kill that thing in time. Unfortunate. On that note, I do need to get to the Arcanites Chapter 14, since you know that dropped. I also need to do the Castlevania DLC for Vampire Survivors, because that was something I've been looking forward to as well. But again, I've been wanting to do this for quite a while, since I knew it was coming eventually. And again, I like this mode, but I only ever get to play it when one of these Tombstone events comes, so that's a bit of a sticking point in of itself. Plus, part of me still wants to do some spooky games. I don't know, I'm told people like it when I do horror stuff. I don't really exaggerate or scream and stuff on it, so I'm kind of surprised at that. Or then again, maybe that's why. Because so many other streamers exaggerate their terror and such, they'd rather someone who's just enjoying it as a matter of fact. I don't know. But I guess the nice thing about horror games and things, or just generally unnerving themes like that, is they can work any time of year. Or they're most thematic in Halloween, but it's not limited. It's not like a holiday, say, a holiday-themed game where those absolutely feel outdated whenever you play it outside of Christmas. Plus, it might be nice to take some of the later time back. To the surprise of absolutely no one, department stores around here love to start the Christmas celebration stuff in September. Sheesh. People joked they started up earlier and earlier every year when it was taking over November, but then it took over October, and now September's there. I joke that it's going to start in July next time, but they've occasionally had a quote-unquote Christmas in July sort of thing. Now, Christmas in July is something that summer camps and stuff will do just to have a fun time with the kids, since obviously camp is not going to last long enough to properly enjoy the holidays together. Right. And a lot of those camps are designed to celebrate togetherness and stuff, so I can kind of get that. But that's not what these department stores are. It's because there's no major holidays that people buy gifts for in the summer, and so they kind of have to make one up. And Christmas keeps coming earlier and earlier because largely because there's no other holiday that encourages spending like that one does. Fortunately, I'm gonna have to wait till payday to do any major purchase of my own, so the joke's on them for me. But yeah, it feels like I've got a lot that I want to get through, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to get through all of them by the end of the year. Like I said, I can do horror stuff anytime, but at the same time, it took me over a year before I did I'm on Observation Duty 1 and 2, and then it took me over a year before I got to 3 and 4. And now there's still 5 and 6, and the 7th one on the horizon. I do like those, but it's probably good to split those up, since the gameplay in there is basically a hidden object game. It's not bad. In fact, it's quite good at what it does. It's just, I feel like I should probably split things up rather than making too samey. There's also a few others. Like, I have wondered if I should go back to Amnesia Dark Descent. The reason I never streamed that one, even back when I started, is because, well, even by the time I started, Machine for Pigs was already out, and if we're honest, I'm not sure I liked Dark Descent as much as I was hoping, which is why I didn't pick up any of the later ones like Machine for Pigs, Rebirth, or the recent Bunker. But at the same time, enough time has passed, I've probably forgotten most of the puzzles and stuff, so I might be able to do it again. Worst case scenario, I end up remembering a bit more than I expected, and I don't think there's inherently anything wrong with that. As much as I do like some of the melee jobs in PvP like Samurai, I do think I'm better off sticking to Picto. Then again, I guess if I specifically want to take down buildings and robots, I might be better off with Samurai. In front lines, I hate playing melee because all you usually do is get singled out and obliterated. Which, yeah, it's what teams do to anyone who's even slightly out of position. However, oh wow, that's a Centurio Tiger. That's a really rare mount. That's for killing 1,000 S ranks and 2,000 A ranks in the Stormblood areas. That's quite a grind, even if you were there when it was recent, and therefore had multiple instances per area, like what's going on now. Because, well, that could easily accelerate the A ranks. Well, I've only got about 500 now, and I've been doing those instead of EX roulettes. And I generally do those instead of EX roulettes because there's 3 dungeons in there. And I do like the Dawntrail dungeons in the general sense. It's just that, because most EX roulettes are the same 2 or 3 dungeons, each patch and each expansion, you're gonna get sick of them really quick if you're just using those to max out your tombstones. There we go. KO. Probably missed the KO. Of course, it forces me to focus on the tank. Whatever. Even paladins, as tanky as they are, can only take so much punishment. And I've certainly got the burst to test that limit, if they really want. There we go. Yeah, I don't want to be in there when the Dark Knight does that move. Yeah, you guys can continue fighting if you want. I need to secure this capture point. I think that's the Quetzal, the Tombstone Lance. By the way, did you know that they added Viper and Pictomancer weapons to Eden Extreme, Eden's Promise? Because I did not until very recently. But I guess it makes sense. They're scheduled to get weapons in the upcoming Eden Ultimate raid, so... And they did the same thing with Reaper and Sage before. They got Knights of the Round weapons because the Dragon Song Ultimate raid had been added. We're on Team Red, right? So I will want to kill this oppressor. Darn it. Well, so much of that plan. Alright, looks like the Merc has a bit of time before it comes out, so... Looks like the upper oppressor was dealt with, so it might actually be worth my time to start heading towards the Merc. So I have to remember there's travel time involved whenever I want to do something. I probably, however, do have enough time to grab some ceruleum. I guess I shouldn't bother that black mage. And this is a really long time till they arrive here. Crap. I can beat one, but two of them is impossible. Oh no, that's the entire enemy team. Yeah, there's nothing I could do there. Well, so much for my evil plan. I'm pretty sure they're gonna win the Goblin Merc. They completely abandoned everything else to go after it, but that does at least mean our Cruise Chaser and Oppressors can deal some damage. Come on, how is that not? Distracted here a little longer, so I should be able to do it this way. Crap, I was so focused on the glyph on the ground marking the AoE that I forgot to look for the Dragoon. I should not have died to that. The Dragoons have such a high alert that the only way to get them is through the Pub Stomper strategy I mentioned. Basically, since an attack is determined if it hits before the animation actually goes, what happens is Dark Knights will go in and pull everyone into force they're in at the same time that another job uses something that will force the enemy to not be incapable of guarding. So the Dancer forcing people to do the Samba, the Reaper just inflicting fear and forcing everyone to run away. Or something like that, and then follow up with a Dragoon or something that is very clearly impossible to die to. That would be impossible to die to if you could guard, but won't be able to. I think Astros are also part of that, but you get what I mean. The whole point of it is basically to ensure the enemy is not in a position where they are even capable of reacting. It's perfectly fine to work around. It's not even that hard for one. It's just kind of a pain. Yeah, I need to get rid of this tank. Come on. clear favorite. The mall motif is pretty nice. It's just a really strong dot. A damn strong one, actually. So don't underestimate its power. As long as I got that powerful dot on, it'll add up. Because the robots, as I said, the robots don't heal, so... Looks like our team has the Merc this time, that's good. Merc the Merc. It's going a bit more back and forth than I was expecting. Uh-oh. The Gob tank's almost up. Crap, 2 people here. There we are. We won. Goblin Merc is ours. Yo, what's this oppressor doing down here? I don't think I like you being here, my friend. Soaring higher. I'm pretty sure my limit break's about to end, yeah. Unfortunate, I can't use Starstruck, but that's fine. It did its job. Hello, Mr. Brute Justice. I imagine you will mind. Oh, crap. Yeah, I forgot the turrets would be defending too. Gob crate. That means we get everything if we win this. We've got a bit over 2 minutes before it happens, though, so we don't have to worry about it. We don't have to worry about it at the moment. Should probably grab more cerulean while I'm here. As long as we have over 50, we're in decent shape, because that means the moment ours currently dies... Oh, what? We won. We won. You know, it's kind of a humbling experience having all my combat jobs maxed out, because now if I do a roulette, it's basically entirely for the for the other tome rewards rather than the XP. And of course, poetics, I don't have nearly as much use for, since the main use of poetics isn't intentionally just out older gear or to make leveling easier. I've mostly just been using it to buy materials for the Endwalker relics, since that's a nice poetics dump that gives you some nice stuff while also being a long-term grind. Let's see, how many jobs were there in Endwalker? Something like 18. 18, 20, something like that. Yeah, that's gonna take it up for a while. Once that runs out, I'll be at a loss for what to do next, but I guess I don't have to worry about that. What matters is I'll have all of them unlocked. Old relic weapons are just for, really just for glamour at this point, but they still look pretty nice in their own way. I mean, I know some who still like to do all the Heaven's Ward relics just because they think those look best. I think it's kind of hit or miss. Usually my favorite step in each relic is the one right before the final, like the Pyros weapons for, oh, nobody cares about Gobby Juice. There we are. Nobody cares, but we won the Gobby Juice. Actually, this might be a good reason to dump my limit break. Too late, buddy. Yeah, it's too late, buddy. We've won. We have now gotten the Gobby Juice. I actually do need to stay on this because there's only 3 in total. There we go. If I'm lucky, they'll run over one of the oppressors, but yeah, most are too smart for that. It was a lot more common back when the mode was new and people didn't realize, oh, that's incredibly dangerous. Darn it. Well, I was still able to get my big burst off on the oppressor. I should probably be a bit more open about using my limit break. The Pictos charges really quickly. It is a bit... It does suffer from being a bit of a jack of all trades, master of none, but I didn't mind that with Red Mage. Break line of sight. Alright, looks like I should probably get some more of these cerulean. I laid as much damage onto the off as I possibly could, but it wasn't enough. And is falling really, north is falling really quickly. And not much we can do there, unfortunately. Yeah, the team left those oppressors alone for way too long. Don't know why I guess they were hoping by pushing south they might be able to win the DPS race, but unfortunately we were behind to begin with, so that was not realistically possible. What else can I talk about while I'm doing here? I did mention I was doing custom deliveries for the first time. I didn't realize that a couple of them had mounts on offer. Granted, only 2 out of the ton that exist, but I guess it is some... There are still quest lines that I should probably have put my effort into doing. I don't know why I neglected those for so long. Those have been around since Stormblood. Definitely one of the better additions the game has had, because crafting in this game is not just a support to your real job like in most other MMOs, including Warcraft. It has its own quest line, its own progression, even its own relics. It is definitely a good portion of the game on its own, and it's also another case where a lot of the achievements for titles and mounts are relatively rare, so most don't even have them. So if you have one of the crafting titles, you're probably one of the few in the game that has it. Not quite as little as PvP, though. Well, people have actually realized that if you want to make money, being a crafter is an extremely good way to make money. Because you can buy a lot of... Assuming you aren't also a gatherer to get these materials, you can usually buy the raw materials for significantly cheaper than the end product, and then put on the end product to sell to others for whatever reason. Believe me, there's a lot of ways to make money there. Especially when a new patch drops, because that always introduces new recipes and stuff that people are going to want. Be it gear, so you... Because, raid gear... Unless it's the Savage raid gear, you can't really meld it as much as crafted gear, which basically means you can get some extra stats by attaching more materia to it than others. I also kind of wish I didn't sleep through the diadem when it was available in Heaven's Ward. That was basically the proto instance open world area that they were planning to do, that they eventually expand on to make Eureka and Bozja, and the new one coming up that's going to be for Dawntrail. It's pretty cool, I think, but it's also a case of, it had a lot of growing pains. At the time, during Heaven's Ward, when Diadem first released, it was pretty much universally hated. It was also the first appearance of notorious monsters and such for combat jobs, but eventually they reworked it so that it was basically crafting and gathering jobs only. Which is nice, but it also means that any titles in there, like Notorious Monster Hunter, that you genuinely cannot get anymore. If you didn't get it, you can't get it now. There's a few like that. sadly, none I could really show off, except for maybe one of the old 2015 event titles. Because old seasonal events did used to include titles in the rotation of stuff you can get, instead of just outfits and emotes and such. But the catch there is, they can't put titles into the cash shop for people to buy, because seasonal events and stuff do not rerun in this game. Instead, after about a year, they just get thrown in the cash shop. So you can still obtain them after you miss the event, it's just going to cost you. Well, whereas you get it for free if you were playing at the time. I guess we do need to, if we're required to have a cash shop, and it's Square Enix, of course they're going to force it. And that's probably the least intrusive way to do it. Gob tank is worth fighting mid over. Yeah, part of the fun of hunt trains and PvP like this is you can see just all the different mounts people have. As mentioned, while people might not necessarily use their main, they will usually use a mount or title they particularly like. And that can be for any reason. Like for Makai ones, they probably just use it because it looks cool. Goldheart here is, well, probably because it is indeed another looks cool one, because it's not hard to level all the trusts, it's just tedious. There we are. Then again, I guess the same can be said about a lot of things here. Like, it's technically not hard to get 2,000 A-rank hunts. It's just a really big pain in the ass. Or rather, a huge commitment. And a commitment is definitely a big thing. I mean, it took me over a month to grind out the 500 vouchers I needed for the Sugar Glider mount. But damn if this thing isn't absolutely adorable. Love it. I originally thought it was a flying squirrel, but when I looked it up, no, it is indeed a Sugar Glider. If you're wondering what the difference is, a Sugar Glider is a marsupial, so same family as possums and that sort of thing. We're on Team Blue, so watch out for reds. I should probably go this way and intercept some of the reds. Alright, because we got the Gob tank, that's going to help us out a lot, I think. I think that was a KO on my part, but I don't think it matters. As I said, the front lines achievements for kills don't apply in this mode. I don't think they do anyways. Yeah, there's none for getting kills, and that's the front line, so it's not going to count there. So yeah. Kills in this mode, absolutely. I guess to discourage pushing over objectives, because objectives are definitely what you want to focus on here. Is the merc coming up? It's coming online in a bit. We should definitely help our mammoths. You know what? Let's just head over to the merc. About half a minute, and I can just, worst case scenario, I can just snipe from up here a bit if anything needs it. Like the Viking. Oh. Oh wow, that was clever of that monk. Unfortunately, I'm a little too durable for that. But had this been front lines, that would have absolutely been a death. There we are, we win. Already? Well, even a small victory is still that much more annoying to the enemy. Sadly, I cannot shield the robots with my Picto shield, as hilarious as that would have been. This should let us take this tower. We just need to make sure the mammoths and enemies are not a problem. There we are. Well, that didn't last long. Yeah, I decided to run face first into the enemy. They're pushing south, but they don't have an oppressor, and that's going to be kind of a problem. Gotta be careful of getting too close, because the turrets get you. That's going to be a bit of a pain. There we are. There we are. Well, I guess if this paladin's gonna be a bit distracted. There we are. Excellent. Good teamwork. Huh, not bad. 3 KOs. I guess the thing about, let's see, I get the field operations. I actually have already done all my leveling and such for Eureka, so if I ever wanted to go back there, it'd actually be fairly easy. In fact, I kind of did. That's how I got the Ozma mount, since that requires completing the big raid you'd fight in Eureka. Bosja, however, I never got past there. I never even unlocked Zadnor, the second areas. So if I'm going there, I'd pretty much be starting from scratch. I don't think I even have any lost actions in there unlocked. So that'd be a bit of a problem. It might be easier for me to just forget about it and move on to the one coming up in Dawntrail. Although, don't get me wrong, there's communities dedicated for those areas. I believe I've seen some people joke that there are some who've never left Boz just since Shadowbringers when it was first introduced. It does have some nice things there. Although in Eureka do have a bit of a problem where the big ultimate reward for grinding the final dungeon there is stuff that makes you stronger in Eureka and Bosja, but you've already beaten everything there, so it's only really going to help if you want to help carry friends and allies through. Which, to be fair, plenty do. As I said, there's still communities dedicated to those, but I don't know, it kind of reminds me of Gogeta from Boo's Fury, when I played that earlier. It's a nice gesture to be rewarded with the free use of the Goku Vegeta fusion after 100%ing the game, but the problem is the game is 100% now, so there's nothing really to use it on. And that game isn't even multiplayer, so you can't even get the joy of carrying your friends through the hard stuff. I'm gonna grab a sip of my drink and I'll re-queue again. I'm debating if I want to stream doing some of the variant dungeons. Yeah, as you can see, I have a quest there to do one of them. They're a bit more open-ended than regular dungeons in that you can do a few unique objectives to unlock different paths through, which can result in slightly different boss fights. I say slightly because I believe it's the same boss, but they have different mechanics. And you also get a different quote-unquote ending that gives you a bit more of this dungeon story. And like I said, if you want to do hard dungeons, like if you're a fan of Mythic Plus in World of Warcraft, the variant dungeon upgrade, the criterion is about as close as you're gonna get. And what's neat is they do scale, so you can do them with anything from 1 to 4 people. I'll probably try to solo it with Reaper rather than go for a party. It's a bit tricky to be doing that. Most people doing a solo prefer to do it with a tank because that means, well, tank privilege means you can make more mistakes and be fine. It's a pretty good idea, honestly, because more mistakes, it just takes a lot longer to die. Because, I mean, Reaper is on the lower half of melee DPS because they have a decent amount of party support, but that doesn't change that melee DPS in general have very high damage. So, while you don't have as much room for error since DPS aren't nearly as durable, things die a lot faster, so you only have to last a fraction of the time as before. Granted, you still have to know all the mechanics because you're going to be seeing all of those, regardless of what you play as, but it'll be over a lot sooner with a DPS. And that's usually what most do. They do it as a tank to learn the mechanics, take forever, or they don't mind taking forever because they need to, you know, progression, training against it, and then switch to a DPS once they're more comfortable with it. Although some have also done healer, like I recall watching someone do a white mage solo of some of the Stormblood Savage Raids, for example. But, well, I guess that's done by over-gearing it anyways, but I know you can do it in well, this is a little tricky. Gobby Juice is probably not worth fighting over, but... Oh, I thought it was already dead. That's why I stopped moving and performing any actions. Ah, dang, I forgot that ninjas could chain stun someone. Yeah, Ninja and Samurai. Well, yeah, a number of the DPS have ways to straight up ignore. Actually, I think it's mostly the melee DPS that all have ignores guard effects. Yeah, melees get a very strong amount of perks simply because it's a lot harder to get close enough to enemies to damage them. I guess my talents might be best used to getting more cerulean tanks for my team. Because like I said, you want to make sure you have at least 50 at all times, because in doing that, you will ensure that your team can mount up as soon as possible. That Cerberus mount is an achievement from Bozja. Actually, a lot of the mounts for the Tomestone events are specifically from Bosnia and I don't want to hit him while he has that status up. There we go, now I can hit him. Yeah, if you hit him while he has the status up, you get a debuff that makes it so that if he uses his limb break, you instantly die. Well, technically it deals damage equal to your max HP, so you can survive it in a couple ways, like over shielding yourself a ridiculous amount, but it's just easier to not let it go. Oh crap, I got it. Phew, thanks, buddy. Oh, what's that on the minimap? I see an enemy oppressor. No, 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 buddy. I'm afraid I can't let you come through here. You're in a no loading zone. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave, sir. Looks like there's a Brute Justice up north that I should definitely be helping with, but first, Ceruleum. The mercenary is being fought. I think our team is winning, though. Looks like I might need to help out a bit. Oh yeah, I really need to help out here. Oh, come on, why'd you not aim for the Merc, you piece of... There we go. We won. That was really, really close. For some reason, the auto... Oh, it chose the wrong... For some reason, the auto target chose the wrong target. Oh, whatever. Man, the White Mage Limit Break used to be ridiculously overpowered. He used to be on... At Battle High 5, it would basically hit as hard as a Dragoon Limit Break, which is about as ridiculous as that sounds. Gobby Juice is not helpful, I guess. Yeah, Red may have won that, but I don't think it really matters too much. I'll also grab another Cerulean just to cap ourselves out. Hello, random summoner. I need to stop that Brute Justice. Yeah, I didn't save them any. Excellent. I'm not maxed out on those, am I? No, I'm not. Yeah, I keep accidentally overcapping on my, wolf marks, so... It's not a big deal, but exchanging them for materia can be a nice way to earn money. Like, if you want to earn money, but you don't want to go into crafting or gathering, the easiest way is to just get materia and sell it to raiders. I've made more money this expansion than I have the entire rest of the time I've been playing. And again, I've been here since around 2.2, so the Leviathan patch. Yeah, that's how profitable materia is, especially if you can start selling it on the day the raids drop. That stuff will sell like hotcakes. And even if not, like, you could usually get a really good deal. Check the history, see what they sell for, and you should be able to get a reasonably good deal. Overmelding is extremely expensive. It's not as bad as some of the Korean MMOs I played, where the success of upgrading is in the fractions of a percent, and if you fail, you lose the weapon itself, unless you use a convenient cash shop item. Now, here you just lose the materia. I mean, they have one where it... I mean, they have one of the Realm Reborn relics does have a joke part where it says, warning, if you fail, you lose the item. To make fun of how rough some of the steps were in the 1.0. Although, funny enough, most would still say the Realm Reborn relics are the most difficult, or at least most frustrating to get of all the relics, simply because, well, again, we're talking Realm Reborn when they were throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks. It's not particularly... Again, it's another case where it's not particularly difficult, but it is extremely time-consuming. Like, you have to buy, like, 10 different books, a set of 10 different books, or at least it was 10 books when it was relevant. And you had to kill very specific enemies in them. They were just regular overworld enemies, nothing special. Some fates, some of which had a respawn time of, like, 10 hours after nerfs. It sends you basically the ass ends of the earth. Well, ass ends of yours, but you know what I mean. Just to kill some very specific enemy that you might not even realize existed, because there's pockets, even in Dawntrail, there's a lot of pockets of random enemies where there's like one type of enemy you've probably never seen before, but they're just in that corner of the map, because I guess that's where they live. Ah, this feels good. Now, since I've gotten all the roll stuff, I actually don't use aesthetics as much as I used to. Now, for that, though, it's a bit easier because I can exchange that for either thread or leathers. And from my experience, those are usually pretty valuable. Those usually sell really quickly. So again, if you want to make money but don't want to do anything other than combat, you can just exchange your aesthetics, and I guess poetics as well, for leathers and threads to sell to crafters. Most crafters are also gatherers, so if it's just something that you can find a bush somewhere, it's usually not too valuable. But leathers requires actively farming and overworld enemies, and most are too lazy to do that, from apparently what I'm seeing, given how fast they sell when I use those. What is that? Yeah, I was thinking, wait, why is that oppressor not moving? Is he waiting for more allies to spawn with him? I should probably do what that other guy's do and go in the back here. Alright, the goblin's coming up. I'm all set, buddy. It's gonna be here in about half a minute. He's probably worth dropping my limit break on just to ensure he dies expediently. How cute that warrior thinks he can do something about it. Yeah, you can't sneak in and get the last... That's one thing I really do like about the Merc here. Squirrel Pal. Hello, Olivia. Welcome. Technically, I'm a Moo, which is a Final Fantasy X monster. Hence his name, Micah, the Magical Moo. His attitude reminds me of Conquer. I've also been taking him out whenever he shows up. Like, where is it? Here we are. Micah Magic Hog, a gear torn from the mechanical heart of Micah the Magical Moo. I think you get about 6 every time you beat him, and you have to beat him twice to get the full outfit he offers. Yeah, let's head over the Gob tank here. Head on over. Looks like we already got 4 here, so that's good. Ooh, but it looks like there's an oppressor south I should definitely be getting in the way of. I only vaguely remember Moos from Final Fantasy IX because they were one of the ones who had a friendly variant you could trade with if you wanted. Oh, no, you're not escaping, buddy. Limit break. Plenty of all jobs to get the Fat Chocobo limit break. It's the Pictomancer. I guess it's still thematically appropriate though. They also get Moogle and Maydeen summons. On that note, I actually had to look up Maydeen to see what it even was, because in the pixel art version, it is very difficult to tell what kind of creature it's supposed to be. Apparently, it's a lion-like creature. It looks more like a Moogle in here, but I guess it's a Pictomancer. I guess they just decided to... I guess it saw the Picto and was all, draw me like one of your Moogles. Yeah, that brute justice needs to die. These guys can't move very well, so I can actually use my stronger but cast time spells. If I'm chasing down a human player, though, I definitely want to use my weaker but no cast time spells. There we are. Let's get the wings here. Oh, the Merc's up. Let's help out then, shall we? Yeah, I really can't be conservative with using my limit break. It charges fast anyways, so it's not like I can waste it that much. It's not like some jobs where you're going to be getting like one per run. Now, I could easily, if I use it every time it's off cooldown, I could probably get like half a dozen Fat Chocobos casted. There we are. palm time. Cerulean tank, that is probably worth our time. Let's see here. Ooh, actually, never mind. As nice as this would be, I do need to stop that Brute Justice coming south. Hello, Mr. Dark Knight, don't mind me. Oh, there we are, we win. Do-do-do-do-do-do. What could be a lady tonight? And prepare to dice. Excellent. Yeah, Picto and PvE is absolutely overpowered. I think they probably intended to overtune it slightly to encourage people to give it a try, at least for the first patch, but they went a bit too far, and they're hesitant to nerf it now since, you know, people like to go to powerful jobs. I'm guessing they overcompensated because Picto is one of the few jobs where you perform actions that deal 0 damage even mid-combat. Because I have tried to use Picto without doing any of the non-damage painting skills, except during downtime. There's just not enough downtime for as often as you need to use those, unfortunately. So you really have to make a call there as to when to prep it. Because you absolutely need it up during the burst phase, when everyone's cooldowns are when everyone has their buffs and big nukes off of cooldown, which is usually about every 2 minutes. That reminds me, did I hit 1500? Of course not. Why wouldn't I? Why would I? You know what, let me grab a sip of my drink before I queue up again. Whoops, did I forget? Oops, I forgot to unmute. Ah, crap, I forgot what I was talking about. Oh well. Oh yeah, it was the relics. Yeah. Even if we count the, what, 3 or 4, maybe 5, Endwalker relics I already have. There was something like, what, 18 or 20 jobs, something like that around during Endwalker. That's gonna eat a lot of my poetics. After that, I don't know, maybe I'll spend it on leathers or something. People hate just sitting and grinding. Since leathers are just random drops from generic enemies, there's no special place to get them. yeah, I'd compared it to Fate. I said when's the last time I just sat down and grinded, or Fate grinding. But Dawntrail made Fate grinding significantly more profitable in the general sense, both in terms of experience and drops, so Gobby Juice is not really worth the time, so. Here. I'm glad I can get a night of this, but I'm not sure when the next time I'll be able to do that, because like I said, I have so much on my plate that I want to do. I still want to do the Castlevania DLC for her Vampire Survivors. I still want I might even want to do some more Monster Hunter Wilds, since that one last night was something I didn't exactly plan, it just came up after my initial plan failed. For some reason, OBS just wouldn't pick up Halloween After Party, something I actually wanted to stream as the Halloween special. Yeah, I tried a lot of things even tonight to see if I can make it work. For some reason, OBS just doesn't want to recognize it. Beats me what that's all about, but I guess there's not much I can do about it. I still do want to do some spooky stuff, but especially since, well, the hidden object games, like the observation duty, are nice, it's good to split them up with some other stuff with a bit more active gameplay. The Gobby Juice will increase everyone's limit break meter to max, but mine's already maxed out because Pictos have a very fast charging meter. Crap. Yeah, I get caught out of position and everyone likes to focus them down. I mean, with good reason, mind you, but still moderately annoying. It is adorable. I love it. I should probably be using it more. It did take me over a month of grinding it. Then again, I can't sit here and say the one I was using, the Outrunner, that's for getting all jobs to level 100, and that actually does take a pretty good commitment in and of itself. But for most, it feels pretty easy because if you max out previous expansions, it's pretty trivial to do it again, but if you hadn't maxed out the previous expansion, there's going to be a bit of trouble. Crap. Oh, wow, yeah. Yeah, like I said, the limit break, if you have the debuff, the limit break does damage equal to your max HP, which is usually an instant kill, but if you have a shield like I do with Tempura Coat, you actually can survive it. It's kind of funny. But obviously, it's a situation you kind of want to avoid if you can help it. So it's usually better to just avoid the samurai, or wait until you see them use the shield, wait for it to go down, and then attack, because it does have a decent cooldown before they can try it again. Alternatively, if you have the burst, you can try and blitz them down, but if you don't have any teammates nearby, that could be a bit of a tall order. cerulean tanks are just here. I should probably be getting that. Just because that gives all teams 50 cerulean or something. Enough to guarantee a robot. And the mech suits absolutely make or break the game. Oh, Battle of Injustices. I guess I should help out, huh? Tidal Warriors 1, 2, 3 combo, what the hell? Gob Tank. That's one of the nicer ones simply because it pushes the lane directly for you. It only lasts a couple minutes, but that's usually all it needs to really cause some damage. Merc's not going to be up for a good while, so I should probably do something about the, Actually, I should probably get some cerulean. We're a bit low on it. That's also another nice thing about this mode. You don't necessarily have to participate in combat to contribute to the team. So if you don't feel confident in your ability to kill things, by all means, grab some cerulean tanks. Especially if you can get it from the enemy's side. It's risky, since obviously they'll be trying stopping you, but it will also mean they'll have to try harder if they want to get any themselves. Oh, hello, Summoner. I'm gonna have to use the one without... Oh, never mind. There we are, that's a KO. I don't have time to prep any spells. I have to just do my 1, 2, 3 combo and hope for the best. Give my teammate a shield and get out of here. Looks like our team has the Merc well in hand, so I'm gonna grab a bit more cerulean. Is that not moving? It's not moving, is it? Okay, no, it is. Okay, good, we're capped. Unfortunately, I can't do anything to save my teammate there without putting myself in danger. And the last thing I want is to give them energy too. Alright, yeah, there we are. Alright, yeah, everyone who was working on Merc should be able to go in Gob Tank now. Which should mean that we should have this in the bag. The other team has been completely ignoring it, so... Oh, hey, this Picto is in the Fall Guys hoodie. definitely need to... Yeah, no good, Mr. Samurai, you're too late. I do believe I have 1,500 now. Yes, I do. So I can now buy something. Should be fine, yeah. Reminds me. Series milestone? Yeah. The next series is going to be coming with the next patch, so there's going to be some interesting rewards there, I think. It also means that the oppressor mount is going to be retired for those who don't already have it, so if you play and want the amount, you'd best start spamming some PvP. Alright, let me grab a sip of my drink before I dive in again. Ah, refreshing. I should have paid attention to how many of these. Hope they add some more stuff you can buy with trophy crystals as well. I've already gotten all the one-time purchases that I care about, and well, you can also exchange them for wolf marks and then exchange those for materia, so they can be converted into something you can actually sell, which again is a nice way to make money in this game. That said, I never really found too many things to actually spend money on, since unless you're a raider, you can usually just go with tome gear or dungeon gear for keeping your item level up, so you can properly do content, and everything of relevance at endgame is purchased with tomestones, totems or items dropped from raids and trials, and or in the case of relics, you just grind for those. Like, as much of people joke that you buy the Endwalker relics, those are purchased with poetics now, and the equivalent of aesthetics when it was new. So you never bought any of those with money. And the devs have been pretty open. They try to avoid having an item purchased off the market board as necessary for relics, because they know it's going to completely crash the market around that item, or better or worse, so they try to avoid that entirely. That's why the majority of relics have, at one point, have what the fan base refers to as a light grinding stage, named after the first one, where you basically just grind whatever dungeon or fight contents you want to fill a meter of light energy or whatever, and once it caps out, then you can finally upgrade your weapon. Almost all the relics had a stage like that, so it took a good while to get, so that it would take a while. Although naturally for the older ones like the Realmborn Heaven's Ward, you can usually grind those pretty quickly, just because you can unsync a lot of content to make it easy. A bit easier for Heaven's Ward, because that one doesn't require you to actually have the weapon equipped. It just has to be in your inventory, whereas you have to have the item equipped for the Realm Reborn ones. Well, no, I think you can actually do most of the dungeon with it and just either do the boss with the weapon or just leave with the weapon equipped and it'll count. Something like that. I'd have to look it up. But yeah, you have to... I guess the point is, for Realm Reborn, you have to go through some hoops, because they intended you to have the item equipped. So you have to do some hoops to avoid having to equip a weak weapon to do the content with. Meanwhile, for Heaven's War, you just need the item in your inventory, so you can just grind with your actual gear while powering up your relic in the inventory. It is really nice that it's the time is basically the ass end of nowhere, as you can see by the timer in the corner, but people are still queuing for it. That's the power of a Moogle Tombstone event, because I guarantee you if there wasn't a Moogle going on, it'd be impossible to find enough people to play this period. Some communities do specify a date and time people can start queuing to play it when they want, but that's very specific. It's not like Frontlines where you can basically queue up anytime you want and get a group going, because most people are just doing their daily. And granted, Frontline is also probably one of the least coordinated modes around, just because it's 72 players on 3 separate teams, so at times it feels like your contributions are a drop in the bucket. As such, you're pretty much going to expect to win about 1/3 of the time overall, regardless of how well or how poorly you perform. Or at least that's how it feels to me. Sometimes absolutely killing it, but we end up losing. Although I do notice I seem to do better whenever we're winning in the general sense. Could just be the enemy playing worse makes it easier for me to contribute more, which of course adds to the team in its own way, but again, it could be it could entirely be a placebo effect. As I said, the winner Frontline matches are usually whoever has the most kill power, or the most, the highest amount of whichever ones can kill enemies more reliably. Frontlines, objectives are really just there to direct where the fights are going to be taking place, but here the objectives are the fight, basically. As you saw, when we win mid and we manage to keep the enemy's oppressors from dealing too much damage while allowing our own oppressors to do theirs, that's when we win. Because even if you have the entire team at max level, buildings barely take any damage from players. You need those oppressors and brute justices to do damage for you. The oppressor mount is hilarious. It's one of those things that's very clearly too big to be a mount, but they decided to scale it up. Well, scale it down for the boss version, but you know what I mean. Gotta be careful in here. Come on, Iron Con. Ah, crap, there's too many enemies here. I can't do anything like this. I have to be careful. Madere deals a metric buttload of damage. about that, unfortunately. Let's just get out of here. Collect some ceruleum. Oh, hello, that's a machinist gun that just shot me. Gold tank, eh? Where's the Merc? North. Still got about a minute, but there's an oppressor up there I should probably be dealing with sooner rather than later. Team Fortress 2 style there, color-coded for your convenience. Well, I did what I could. The dot will help, but if the team ignores it, there's not much I can do. It's especially bad that the enemy controls the north area, because that's where the Merc is. Dark Knights are pub stompers, but if you know what they do, you can play around it pretty easily. Every PvP game has that one job that's a pub stomper that slaughters randos like no tomorrow. Oh, but players that know what they're doing have no trouble against, and for this game, that's Dark Knights. Supposedly, it's going to be changing after the 21 changes, but I guess we'll see. Enemy Brute Justice coming in south. Coming in hot, gotta stop him. Unfortunately, since we lost both towers, we have a lower defenses on our core. There we go. Crap, oh, an oppressor's coming up north now. I gotta stop. No, that's not oppressor. That's a Brute Justice. That's even worse. Crap. I did all the damage I could, but it just wasn't enough. The Sumatra, huh? Didn't expect the Star Control 2 reference here. Sadly, we have no planets in need of terraforming. Well, let's keep going. How many moogle tomes do I have there anyways? 170, not bad actually. Yeah, the big item that's on offer this time around is the Honeybee Lovely earring. Kind of amusing that she's just a one-off boss, raid boss, but everyone's really gotten to like her. But I don't think that's a bad thing. It's always nice when even the filler bosses don't feel like they're relevant in some fashion, rather than just yeah, this one's basically a filler fight that you unfortunately have to deal with having sometimes. Then again, I guess if when you're doing a tournament arc, you need to be sure the opponents have a good gimmick. Yeah, those white orbs are also PvP. Actually, let me show. I've got them here. Hold on. Yeah. Red, blue, and yellow. Those are all PvP mounts, and probably among the rarest mounts I have in the entire game, just because, again, those aren't even that difficult to get if you want to be technical. They're just obtained by playing PvP a lot, basically. But again, nobody plays PvP in this game, so having them is a huge, huge boon. I hope they eventually add a blue version of the mount I've got right now, because there's a blue version that's a hunt target. It's in one of the open world areas. And that one's also adorable, so I hope they add that one as a mount later option. Yeah, that only failed because nobody had their limit breaks yet. Otherwise, Dark Knights do exactly what you see there. They pull them in, someone else uses a skill to deactivate the guard effects on the on the team, and then someone else uses the high damage moves to try and kill. Yeah, you overextended, Mr. Samurai. Well, it's good to... Oh, the Hand of Mercy. Now that's a really good one. Like I said, that one takes a pretty good commitment to get. 5,000 kills in front lines is a genuinely large amount. Even now, I only have about 1,500, I think, or something along those lines. There we go. Star Prism. Yeah, sorry, Mr. Viper. Vipers are kind of like Samurai in that they're a selfish DPS. They give up all possible party support in exchange for just high damage. On one hand, this can mean they have limited options if you want to do a solo with them, or if you want to do a less than regular party size. But on the other, it does give the party a clear, okay, I guess if I need to buff someone, this guy's the obvious choice. You know, assuming there's enough, not counting stuff like if there's a massive skill gap. Dance is a pretty low DPS, but if they're clearly out damaging the Viper, well, first of all, there's a lot bigger problems. I'm gonna protect my ally here, and I do get a nice buff for being in here, at least. There we are, I took that guy out. I best use the elixir to restore my MP. There was a time when attacks and skills used MP in PvP, but it was determined that it was not really worth it. So yeah, now MP is only ever used for the self-heal ability. Okay, let's use the elixir again. And that's the nice thing about the tower, is you do get a stab boost and heal over time effect for being in one, so... There we go. Marksman Spite, the limit break for Machinists. As you can guess, it is basically a fuck you in particular move, because you single out one person, they take a ridiculous amount of damage. For virtually anyone low on half HP or lower, including tanks, it can easily be an instant kill. Yeah, I should probably help against the Merc. There we go. Oh, nice. Now, reinforcements from Merc are here, including me. Hello, Mr. Ninja. I think we got a good teamwork going here. Oh yeah, we're pushing both sides pretty hard. the Merc's almost here, so... Let's just get that and make this a little easier on me. All the achievement sites tell me that the ultimate titles are among the rarest in the game, since, you know, ultimates are among the hardest cons in the game, but I swear I see them more often than any other supposedly rare title. Oh nice, and we just bursted down instantly. Well, that will expedite the process of winning, at least. We are. Nice victory. I'd say we've had a decent mix of wins and losses here. I think we might have actually have a better win rate tonight, which I guess makes up for the times when I had a much bigger loss rate. Although then again, I guess my own performance has gotten better as the night goes on, and I've gradually gotten my sea legs for it back. I definitely need to do this mode more though, just because again, this is one of the few times I can queue for it. I may or may not stream it. I'll think about it, I guess. Oh, and if you're wondering about this other Rival Wings Astragalos, unfortunately, that has not been available for quite some time now. It was not available at all during Endwalker, for example. And it's not the only one. Borderland Ruin Secure, this has also been completely out of the running for quite a while. Which also means that the achievements from it, like the drone destruction title, you can't get those anymore, although supposedly there are still plans to bring it back. Supposedly. I get plans change, but you do have to remember that promises are pretty cheap. Like before Dawntrail, it was said that Dragoon was going to get reworked. Well, Dragoon's here, and they didn't really do much. They removed one attack, altered another one, and that was basically it. Meanwhile, Monk got reworked in a way that I kind of like, honestly. I didn't like how it juggled like 3 different timers before. Just get a amount of nostalgia for Heaven's Ward, and while I can understand because that was a bit when the DPS were a bit more technical, all the DPS basically played the same. They all had 1 or more dots to maintain. They all had a buff that you basically need to do your 1-2 combo regularly to keep permanently active. It just wasn't nearly very interesting, if we're honest. Though I admit I could just be biased against that era because they turned my main into from an archer into a bow mage. That wasn't fun. Is so adorable. I love it. The mount, I mean. crap, that's no good. Yeah, as soon as I saw them overrunning, I was all, crap, I'm not gonna get out of here, am I? No, I did not. Melon Gibson. I mean, I guess if they just want to fight in our area, that's fine, but like I mentioned, players deal significantly reduced damage to towers, so... Charm that the Dancer Limit Break conflicts cannot be cured with a status cleanse. Even white mages cannot cure the horny. I mean, if you're gonna pursue me this far, by all means. If we go this close at this point, then... yeah, that oppressor really made the difference. That guy definitely went for the himbo outfit. Assuming I'm even using that term right. I try to use ones that feel appropriate, but... oh, lovely, a Dark Knight. Come on, get the claw going. Alright, well, we won, and that's what matters. Might as well protect my bard buddy here. Crap. I'm told ninjas are really good for farming kills, but every time I play as a melee in front lines, I always just get singled out and die. And so I just stick to Pictomancer there. I was Machinist before. In fact, I even streamed it as a lot back during the Endwalker PvP streams. Just because it was just easier to catch someone at half or low HP and then use Marksman Spite to guarantee the kill. Why are you guys afraid of Bahamut? After his initial summoning damage, he kind of just sits there and doesn't do jack. Darn it. Well, I was able to kill one of the two, but two oppressors will really tear apart a tower. Yeah, this game could, we're winning now, but it would be very easy for the enemy to get the upper hand if we let them. We have an oppressor going mid to try and surprise them. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's a middle lane in this game because there's... Yeah, the Ninja Limit Break used to be a guaranteed kill on low HP targets, but I think now it's just very high damage. So again, like with Samurai, you can survive. You can probably survive it if you can shield yourself up a good amount, but only so many jobs are capable of that. The alien abduction mount is hilarious. There we are. Machinist. You look like you could use a death. That went well. I think I should be able to do it. Nice. I'm gonna miss these queues when they're gone. I'm also going to miss the multiple instances when they're gone, but at least the good news is the Tombstone event will always be rotating out, because like I said, it happens at the end of every patch cycle. And at the end of each expansion, just to give people something to do while they're waiting for the next big content update. Works well, I think, especially since the rewards they're offering are usually stuff that's otherwise kind of a pain to get. That said, I will say I'm kind of salty that the Innocence mount is an option here when just a couple weeks ago I did a farm party with people to get it. Oh no, mine wasn't the last that dropped. In fact, mine was reasonable ways in. And it's just that I didn't want to be a dick, so I decided to stay until everyone got their mount, and for some reason the last couple absolutely refused to drop. I ended up with something like 80-something totems. And for those who are unfamiliar, totems are given at the end of certain bosses, like Innocence, where you can exchange them for the gear that is normally dropped there, so that you don't, so that if the RNG is not on your side, you can force it. And if you want the mount, you need 99 of the totems. So in other words, it took so long for that drop, I almost got enough to buy the totems straight up. Luckily, I don't need to do that, at least. Although I'm not sure what I would spend it on. Again, I already got the mount from there, and I don't need the accessories since that's a Shadowbringer's trial fight. I don't need any of the gear from it. Especially since Innocence drops primarily, he drops accessories instead of weapons. Oh crap. Damn it, there's nothing I could do. I was out of resources there. I probably should have just run, but I was just too eager to get that ceruleum. At least the Dragoon that killed me got what was coming to him. Like that one Futurama episode. Prize assassin, prize assassin's assassin. Oh, well, at least my assassin will get what's coming to him. No idea why our team decided to go so hard on the gobby juice, but I mean, it's something for us that the enemy doesn't get, I guess. Yeah, like I said, the pub stomper setup. Darn it. Yeah, our own Dark Knight wasted a bit too much time on that. We lost the gobby juice, but I guess that's not a huge loss. What I do need to stop are the southern push, though. I guess there's worse things to lose than the gobby juice, but yeah, I need to stop that oppressor. It'd probably be in my best interest to stop these cruise chasers as well. As mentioned, they deal good damage to machines and players, but not so much crap. And it got me while I was in the middle of casting, and I was too arrogant to try and finish the cast. Instead of just running like I should have. I need to get up north to deal with the Goblin Merc. Or I could grab these ceruleum tanks since our team is really lacking in ceruleum. Sheesh. I no need to fight here if I can help it. I see. He was trying to pull me in to make me vulnerable for that monk. Yeah, if the monk has a limit break, that could have actually been a problem. Crap, yeah, I was out of... I went up the stairs and was in the middle of the enemy team, so I don't know what I was expecting. Yikes, in front lines, that would have been a death, right? Instant death. Yeah, we don't have enough people there to defend it, I don't think. We need to wait. Crap, yeah, there's nothing I can do here. Yeah, my shield was on cooldown. There's nothing I could do to survive that. Damn it. Yeah, I figured they might try to stop me. I need to break line of sight because Dragoons can't really pursue you if they can't see. Well, most attacks in general require line of sight. go ahead and refuel here real quick. Really getting hectic. Oh, crap, we're losing our Brute Justice. This is not a good sign. Oh, I see what they're doing. Yeah. Well, not the most satisfying game to end on, but I am too tired to keep going, I'm afraid. Well, that was some Pictoman Sea Rival Wings. Is it? Alright. Until next time, thank you for watching, hope you had a good time, and I'll see you later.